Hey guys, welcome back. We are finally allowed to start flying again next Monday, and we are so excited. We've missed being up there, we've missed you guys. I'm here with Duncan today, and Duncan is our safety manager, and throughout lockdown we have been doing quite a lot of safety risk assessments. We've been re-evaluating a lot of our procedures, and we've got a lot of exciting new content to come. But today what we thought we would do is we're just going to chat about how to brief your first sortie back when you come back to flying. It's been a while for everyone. I think we've flown a couple of times.
A handful of times.
A handful of times, just maintenance flights. But again, we're still all trying to get back into the swing of it. I don't know about you, but I didn't find the flying side of it, just the flying bit, I didn't find that too challenging to come back to.
No.
It was all the other stuff.
Yeah, the stick and rudder skills, if you like, come back pretty naturally and pretty fast. But all the admin around it, you forget and you get out of practice, and making sure you get that accurate, keep yourself safe as possible is really important. So
yeah, exactly.
Hence today.
So yeah, no TAMs, mated briefs, all of that stuff. We're just going to have a little look at it today to see what we need to do when we come back. So the first thing, we're just going to run through this like a mated brief. We've all done them before. A lot of people might not have gone through the whole mated brief since doing your PPL. We obviously always recommend it.
Always recommend it.
But sometimes we do get into the habit of doing slightly shorter briefs when we do more flights quite often. So we're going to run through it as if we're doing it for the first time in a long time, which we pretty much
some
are.
of us will be.
Yeah. So meteorology, the Met, the weather. That's the first thing we're going to look at today. So the conditions for the time and the area of your flight. This is going to be important for you. So we're going to have a look at the wide area synoptic charts, just looking back at those again, what we're actually looking for on those very briefly, and the Form 215, Form 214, TAFs and METARs, of course. And really what we're looking for with the Met is a summary. We're looking to make a decision whether we're going to go flying or not go flying. We were going to do a bit of flying today, just for some practice, but unfortunately today
No, I think we see the synoptic chart a bit in your presentation. It's not the best day.
Yeah, so looking at the wide area synoptic chart today, all of this information is accessible on the Met Office Premium site. You don't need to pay for it or anything. It's you just sign up with an account and just head to the briefing chart section and click on surface pressure, and you'll be able to get this forecast chart. And today it's 30th of June, so we're looking at 12 o'clock today. And as you can see, as Duncan made the decision earlier, probably not a great day for flying today, but this is just one of the things you want to look at before the flight. Is there anything you want to discuss on this?
No, we all know how to read synoptic charts, but don't forget, if you see anything you're unsure of, there's always someone around who can talk to you about it and help you make decisions.
Cool. So next thing is the Form 215. So this is the forecast weather below 10,000 feet. And again, looking at this, today's not the best day, but just a reminder of one of the things you want to be looking at and having a read of. And this, if you do struggle to decode it and you can't quite remember some of the things, it's been a while, so you might not remember exactly what certain things mean, then if you just Google Form 215 decode, there's a really helpful Met Office site that will just pretty much go through a worked example for you and give you all the abbreviations and stuff, which is really useful. Spot winds. We kind of use this when we're doing our pre-flight planning. A lot of us use SkyDemon now if we're doing a sort of local A to B flight to plan our routes, our headings and stuff. But we just want to have a look at the spot winds just to make sure there's nothing untoward there as well.
Good for the planning.
Looking a little bit closer to the area of our flight, TAFs and METARs. These are really, really useful. And again, great apps that you can get on your phone that give you TAFs and METARs and decode it for you. And we've also got the standard Met Office website as well. So we can just have a look at that, run through it, have a look at things at your home base, near your home base, en route, and at the destination if you are thinking of travelling somewhere else for your first flight back. So again, the summary really is a go or no-go decision. What are we going to do? And that's really the point of having a really good look at the weather, especially because it's been quite a while. And you might want to, if you do have your own limits, you might also want to make your limits a little bit tighter for the first flight back, just so you're not too stressed.
Yeah, and remember, it's the middle of summer now, so the last time any of us flew really would have been January, February. The conditions are very different now.
Yeah. But sunset happens later, so we get
more time
to fly. Yeah. Okay. The next thing on a mated brief is the aircraft. So we're going to look at things like the max takeoff weight, the centre of gravity, the performance. Duncan just mentioned that it's a different time of year now. Obviously not today, but the last couple of weeks has been pretty hot, and the performance does change of your aircraft. If you're thinking of taking a few passengers, taking a few, bit of extra fuel, just think about what that's actually doing to the performance of the aircraft and the max takeoff weight. So always good to have a look in your operating handbook. All helicopters, you've got performance graphs, charts, and everything like that to do your calculations from. It's always worth doing a manual CFG calculation.
Here's my personal, probably can't see that very well. Try and do it every time.
Yeah, always. Fuel load, how much fuel are we going to take? Just want to make sure that we've got enough fuel.
Always important to consider the fuel state. Maybe the person that fueled it before you put more than you were expecting in. So again, mass imbalance issue could occur.
Yeah, and always test the fuel as well, especially when the aircraft's been sat in a hangar for a while. You just want to make sure there's no water, no sediment, nothing in that fuel. Insurance, obviously checking the aircraft documents goes without saying, but we've been having a good look at all of our aircraft documents because the insurance obviously has an expiry date, and it has been a while since we've been flying some of them, so always making sure that aircraft is nicely insured.
Stay legal.
Stay legal, yeah. Maintenance, again, there's calendar inspections and there are hourly inspections, so that's what we're just checking here. Obviously, the aircraft haven't done that many hours of flying, but they might be approaching that calendar inspection. So the hours might not, be hitting a maintenance reminder. However, the date might do.
Yeah. I mean, we think we've tried to keep everything in date while everyone's been away, but it's possible.
If you're flying another aircraft, might be someone else's aircraft. Just pay a little bit of extra attention to that. And of course, the tech log. We all love paperwork.
I do love paperwork.
One of those things that you kind of forget to do after a while, or you can do. Just make sure that you've ticked all the boxes, filled out all the forms you need to fill out, and just squared everything off quite nicely. So moving to ATC, airfield details and things like that. So obviously we want to just make sure that the airfield that we're operating from hasn't got any restrictions. So Elstree at the moment, we've had to fill out a couple of extra forms. We've had to do some out of hours stuff, things like that. I think that should all be changing, but just remember that a lot of airfields that you go to now may have different procedures in place. Opening times might be different.
Make sure you get your PPR, speak to them beforehand, and don't forget they're keen to see us.
Yeah, just give them a call, literally, give them a call, and they'll be more than happy to help with anything and point them in the right direction.
They want us back.
Yeah, so we like to say, just to kind of make sure for everything before a flight, have you booked out from the airport? Over the phone, obviously book in as well. Have you signed out? So have you signed the tech log to kind of accept the aircraft as airworthy? And have you authed out? So as a flight school, we have an authorization book, just so we can keep track of which aircraft is where, and that someone's authorized that flight to take place, especially for hire and training.
Yep.
Cool. NOTAMs, there are quite a few in place at the moment. A few around this area, and quite a few have popped up recently. So SkyDemon is a great way to check NOTAMs, gives you really, really useful kind of interactive tips and things like that. And you can check it for en route, airfield, and at the destination if you are planning on going to another airport. Royal flights, might take place as well?
Royal flights, calling up the AIS service, and the red arrows have been around quite a lot recently.
Yeah, so we can give the AIS line a call now, just see if there is anything from today.
This is the AIS information line with a summary for the 30th of June, recorded at 1800 on the 29th of June. All times are UTC. There are currently 2 restrictions of flying and no airspace reclassifications. The restriction of flying is located at Louisa Jordan Hospital, Glasgow, running H24, November Juliet 0509 of 20, refers. A restriction of flying for the Red Arrow is located at Sileston Aerodrome from 0815 to 0900 and 1045 to 1130. November Juliet 0860 of 20,
from
refers.
today. So obviously we're not flying today, but just useful to bear that in mind anyway. RT services may have changed, so Farnborough Radar, the Lars service around where we are, that's changed at the moment, so they're not operating. But we're quite lucky down here. We've got Luton, we've got Essex, we've got Heathrow. All the radar services are kind of helping us out.
Yeah, it's been really quiet.
Yeah, it's been quiet for them, so they're more than happy to help out whenever. And Navaids as well, just make sure that any VORs you're using are still operative. Some of them they haven't been quite looking after because they just haven't needed them at the moment.
And if you're old school enough to track an NDB, then they've even pulled the LUT recently permanently. I think it's gone for good.
Yeah. Moving on to the exercise. So what type of flight are you doing? What's the plan? As always, we like to have a backup plan as well. If you want to show up to the airport, you do your planning and you find out that your destination might be closed, you want to have a backup plan. You want to still go flying. So we want to see exactly what else there is we can do just so we can still get up.
Always have an alternate as well.
Exactly, yeah. And self-brief the route as well. So look at the route you're taking, make sure that it's not going through any airspace, that it's planned. There are a number of things like the Take 2 initiative, so keeping 2 miles away from airspace and 200 feet below any airspace or above, just to keep you safe, and we recommend following all those initiatives. Another thing that we were thinking about when we've been chatting is maybe for the first flight that everyone does, you might just want to stay local. You might not want to go to another airport. You might just want to refresh yourself with the feeling of flying, what things look like from here, how it feels. It's been a long time, so it's no drama, just to take off, depart the ATZ, go a couple of miles one way, turn around a couple of miles the other way, and then come back in. You can always shut down, have a coffee, tea, and then go back up again.
Yeah, absolutely. Just
keeping it nice and safe. Duties, so this is kind of an airmanship, threat error management type of thing. The main thing that we're all thinking about is recency requirements. Have we done our 3 takeoffs, approaches and landings within the last 90
Well,
days?
you and I have, but that's about it. Nobody else has.
But yes, a lot of our hirers, a lot of our students, of course, no one really has. So if you are thinking of taking passengers, then of course, just go and do 3 circuits, get back into it, get the feeling of flying again, and then of course, take your passengers. And when you are taking passengers, you might just want to rebrief them on the safety aspects of flying. It's been a while for them too. Not just us pilots.
Yeah.
So
in fact, there's a great passenger safety brief by Robinson, which we found on YouTube.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't seen it, we'll put a link to it in the video. And,
we'll pop it in the description below.
Yeah, it's very comprehensive.
Yeah, exactly. And just remind them of the the basic safety things, where everything is, what to look at, and everything like that. And for yourself as well, emergency revision. Just have a look at the POH, pull out the emergency procedures section, just read through it. Just remind yourself of the very basics of what to do in the event of a light coming on or anything like that, really. Anything unexpected. At least you've just had a little read of it beforehand, maybe a couple of reads, just to keep you safe.
Absolutely.
And all refreshed. So is there anything else you wanted to add to
Well,
this?
we've got a few documents sitting on the table here. This is our Getting Flight Ready brochure, which is actually available to read as soon as you come in, check in. It's quite comprehensive and basically everything we just talked about, including our COVID biosecurity measures. We've got posters up around the place asking if you're flight ready, basically reminding all the things that we've spoken about just now. Thought I'd bring my own personal sheet along to show this is what I go through before I go flying every time. It's basically a mated brief written out, space for me to write notes about the route and then tick boxes to make sure I've got my PPR, done my mass and balance, booked out, signed out, authored out, and my mass and balance on the back. And just for everyone coming back to flying Gasco, I've got these great checklists and I've laminated a load of them for you to have a keep and a read, just so going forward we make sure we are safe and we are still current. Anybody might be wondering what these things are as well.
Oh, yeah.
On the table. Our MD520 just came back from servicing and we're rather obsessed with some of the parts, but I think we might do another video about that.
Yeah, so we'll show you all of these things. They're very cool, very interesting. Quite a bit of history to some of them.
Quite
as
a bit
well.
of history to some of them, yeah. What's this, 1980s?
Yeah, that was made quite a while ago. But yeah, very interesting. Anyway, we can't wait to see you guys back.
Can't wait.
We're really excited, and we'll see you all soon.